perfect. Yeah, you walk that walk, watch the miles go by. You're so picture perfect.
Welcome back, everybody. That was our opening with the licorice. But I have my special guest returning from Dailey Dose of Dana, Donna Bowling.
Hello, hello.
I am so excited to talk to you again about all these shows and all these crazy people.
I mean, every time you ask me to talk about crazy people, I'm like, when, how soon, when can I sign up?
I know. Tell me about your trip first before we dive into all the crazy people. You just went to Chicago.
I love Chicago. It's my
How
kind
was
of
it?
town.
That's good.
Yeah, it was a good time. I was there for a podcast event, a podcast conference. I was asked to speak on a panel about monetizing podcasts.
Oh, that's
So it was really
fun.
cool.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Is it cold there right now? So I'm in Delaware, so you came like kind of closer to my region, but it's warming up here. So is it warming there?
I mean, they said that it was warm like right before I got there. And then of course I got there just for the cold. It was sunny, but it was chilly. I mean, for LA, it's freezing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, like my best friend lives in Florida, and when she came and visited me in February, she's like, "My body isn't used to this. I'm so cold."
Yeah. No, it's not. We're not used to it. Like I was like I froze just like
Yeah,
being outside.
yeah. Oh, well, that's good. That sounds fun.
It was really fun. It was nice to get away. But
I
I'm
bet.
exhausted. Like
Yeah, I know.
my body is not used to traveling in the middle of the week. It's just like and then coming back like in the middle of the week late at night and then waking up early to like do the school drop
Yeah.
off and the lunches and like get right back into it. It's thrown me for sure.
I know. And I have to ask you a question. Do you make your lunches? Because I have 2 daughters. Do you make it the day of school or the day before? Because, like, I feel like her sandwich would get soggy if I made it the night before. Oh, look at your little doggy.
He's such a pain in the butt. My Murphy. I love him so much. But every time I talk, I don't usually have him in here when I record because every time I talk, he's like, "You're talking to me, right?"
Oh my God, I love him.
He jumps up here though every time. Look, every time
Oh, look at
I move
him.
my hands, I
Look
have
at
to
his
put my hand
paw.
on
He's
him.
like mom.
Oh my God, it drives me nuts.
What a breed is he?
A COVID doodle.
Oh, we have a golden doodle.
No, he's a
They are
COVID
needy.
doodle.
Oh my God, that's funny. He's needy.
He's made of COVID. Yeah, he's just like a mutt and a doodle. He's a doodle something. We don't know. They said he was a golden doodle, but there's no way. I think he's like a
Yeah.
multi-poo something or other.
Oh, okay.
He's sweet. He's just very needy, very needy. Okay, so lunches. I do hot lunch most days because my kids are getting older and they don't want like
Fancy.
homemade lunch unless I go to Trader
Mhm.
Joe's and get like Dylan, my older, he'll want like, you know, the ready-made salads or the orzo salads or whatever. But
Well,
I'll
that
do a
sounds
morning
fancy.
of. I'm not like a night before
Yeah.
type of person for them.
I know, like,
And
I
I'm
wish I
definitely not
could
like
because that
a
would make my life easier.
what, the night before?
Yeah, I wish I could make it the night before just because it'd be, like, easier. Because 'cause you're, like, making breakfast in the morning and then, like, they're still little, so they, like, don't really wanna get up and they're, like, cranky.
Yeah.
But I'm like, "No, the
It's a
lunch
pain. The
lunch
mornings
needs to be
suck.
fresh." I know, I know. It's like, I don't wanna get up either. It's how I feel 'em. But we wrapped up Southern Charm reunion this week. I couldn't believe this was Miss Pat's first time coming to a reunion, and then I was
Yeah.
like, they flew her all the way there because it was in New York, and I was like, she was there for, like, 5 minutes, and did you think it was weird Whitney wasn't there? Because then I was like, "Wait, is Whitney usually not there?"
He's like too drunk to go. It was so weird. Yeah, it was an interesting I didn't even like touch on that on my show that they made it such like a memory-filled reunion episode. Like they brought up so many, you know,
Mhm.
memories and clips of previous seasons and like this is how you used to look and this is how we saw you when we first met you, etc. But almost like setting it up for a series finale. It was weird. It
Yeah. Or, like, I wonder if they were almost doing it to show growth, but then also show and call Shep out that he hasn't changed.
yeah. Yeah.
It was,
I
like,
mean,
12 years ago.
yeah. I know. I don't know exactly like what the goal was there, but it was kind of cute to see them change and whatever. And they didn't utilize Pat enough. I don't know why they brought her all
Yeah.
the way out there, especially at her age. I mean, but she also did an episode of Watch What Happens Live this season, and I wonder if that was the same time that they shot the reunion.
Oh, yeah, that could have been it.
Well, let's see. She did an episode of Watch What Happens Live around the time. I want to say she did it episode 2 or 3. And it was after, no, because they shot the reunion after they broke up, after Paige and Craig broke up, which was
Mhm.
like,
And Madison's, like, real pregnant. She said she's, like, 4 months pregnant.
yeah, so that was after the holidays. So it was way after episode 2. So yeah, they flew her out for Watch What Happens Live and for the reunion on separate trips.
I know,
And
she's
she's not a young
83.
woman.
She's 83. I'm like, "Girl, you look good, though."
Well, I mean, she's literally not her face. Like,
I know.
it's crazy. I mean, her face does not move except her mouth.
I know. I know. She said she gets a ton of Botox, but I'm like, did you get a facelift too?"
100%.
She didn't get
That's
the
not just
neck,
Botox.
though. Like, not to be mean, but my husband was like, "Her face looks, like, young and, like, frozen," and he's like, "But the neck doesn't." And I'm
Well, of
like, "Yeah, and you could
course.
do Botox in your neck. You can, though."
Yeah, but like at some point, like the body starts to show the age at some point. Like you can't
Yeah.
literally freeze your entire body.
Yeah. But she does look good. I feel like she always does that look too with, like, it looks like an old school
Yeah.
nightgown, like, with the feathers.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like she has
very,
that in, like, all different colors.
yeah, it's almost like a pajama negligee vibe. Like it's very 50s laying
Yeah.
around the home.
Yeah.
It would work for the kimonos and caviar party at Caviar Caspia in Beverly Hills.
Oh my god. Maybe she coulda loaned that to Dorit because she forgot
Dory
hers.
doesn't have one. She
Yeah.
really should have hit up Patricia.
Yeah. But I found it interesting the more they keep talking about the Craig and Paige stuff,
Mhm.
because I am so, like, I don't know who to believe. Usually, I'm pretty black and white, but I'm really gray because I'm like, Craig is an embellisher, he is a storyteller, as he says, he's a lawyer, he's a storyteller, but some of the stuff he's saying, I'm like, would he just totally make all this stuff up?
Well, I think he does lie a lot, and I think he does embellish a lot, but when it comes to
Mhm,
Paige, I do believe he had rose-colored glasses on, and he did finally
mhm.
in this episode, he did finally say, for the first time, that he was a little bit relieved when it was over because he was kind of living his life in this idea of, like, when we break up or when we get back I'm sorry, when we get married, we will do A, B, and C. When we
Yeah,
move in together, we will do A, B, and C. And he's like, when we finally ended things, it was nice to finally say, like to relieve myself of that when we get together, then we'll be, you know? He
yeah,
also mentioned, and I thought this was really good, he also mentioned that when he was about to propose or when he bought the ring, like he was nervous, but he could feel in his gut it wasn't a normal kind of nervous. It felt like an abnormal nerve. And that to me, I
yeah,
think is really important. Like we really should be listening to our guts as human beings. And even though
mhm,
she was telling him, I mean, she's convinced and her fans are convinced that she was telling him the whole time how she was feeling. And yes, we do see in that one scene or in a couple scenes, I guess, throughout the years, her saying to him, I want my career and that's important to me.
mhm,
But other than that one scene where they're at that farm after the bee scene, or yeah, I guess it was
yeah,
the bee scene. Other than that one scene, we didn't see very clearly, like a very clear scene where she said, you are holding me back. And I don't think that you want me to succeed in my career. And I don't think this is going to work at this way. Like, she
mhm,
wasn't saying
mm,
what she was saying to the camera. She wasn't saying what she was saying to Sierra. She wasn't saying what she was saying to probably to Hannah or her mom or whatever.
mhm,
You can't blame him. He's still just a guy. And no
yeah.
offense to the men listening, but men, I don't know if it applies to gay men, but straight men, and I'm married to one, and I think you are too, are for the most part, I love them. and I'm not a man hater like Paige is, I'm really not. Men are just not incredibly intuitive when it comes to these things. Like, they don't read our minds.
It's true. It's true.
Lance,
You
my
need to really
husband, does
spell it
not.
out.
Yeah, I need to literally say, Lance, I need you to A, B, and C. And he's like,
Same.
yeah, like, but it's got to be so clear. Like, and you would think they would get it because we've been together 20 years, et cetera, et cetera. They don't get it.
Mm-mm.
And they've
Yep.
only been together 3 years and they didn't even live in the same freaking state. So, like, he really didn't get it.
I know. And I feel like 2 things. Number 1, I feel like a lot of people, like, we're watching Summerhouse and Sierra's like, "Craig's a hater, like, he's hating on your career." I don't think he's hating on Paige's career.
No.
I think after 3 years, and they're both adults, he's just making sure they're at least moving forward to maybe living in the same state.
They're on
I
the same
mean, like,
page.
3 years and they don't even live in the same state. Like, I don't think he was like, "We need to have a baby next week and elope." Do you know what I mean? But it's like,
No,
okay,
they
it's been
just
3 years, you're about to get so busy. Are we gonna, like, continue to move forward or just stay complacent for the next 3 years in this state, you know?
they
And he's just
just
checking in, and I feel like she was giving him shit.
that's the thing. He just was doing what a healthy relationship does, which is like, hey, are we
Mhm,
still on the same page as we're moving forward in this big life changes
mhm.
in our life? And if a woman did that to a man, it would never be said, you're a hater. You would never say the
Yeah.
woman is hating on a man if they got a new big job. Like, by the way, my husband gets jobs where he goes out of town for weeks and weeks at a time on jobs, on big
Mhm.
jobs. And now we're married and we share a mortgage and we have kids together. So we don't really have to do those like check ins. Hey, are we together or not? Like, I think it's
Yeah.
pretty. But if we were still dating, which we were, there would be a lot of times where I would feel very insecure because
Mhm.
he would go out of town on location on The Bachelor in Paradise. Hello.
Yeah.
And he would go out and he was younger, of course, so he was, like, partying a lot more those days, and he was going out and he was getting all, hanging out with God knows who, and I was, like, feeling insecure at home and asking him to check in with me more, and that's what is normal because you're sitting at home while the other person is traversing all over town, getting all
Mhm.
this attention, and you're craving that love or that assurance constantly. And the only reason that he's looked at as a hater is because he's a man. Because if he
Yeah.
was the woman saying like, "Honey, you're going out on tour. I would love for you to check in with me more or like give me more assurance that I'm still on your mind and you love me." That would just be
Mhm.
normal.
Yeah, she's just seems very selfish, and she thinks it's like he's being needy, but a relationship is 50-50. It can't be all about you all the time, or like, I don't care about your feelings. I don't even want to hear about your feelings. Like, that's not nice. It's
By
just
the
not.
way,
And so my
relationships,
number 2.
yeah.
Mhm. No, you say it, and then I'll say my number 2.
Relationships, you kind of have to be needy. If you're not needy in a relationship, then you're complicit or you not complicit, complacent, or worse, you don't give a shit. If you are not
Mhm.
needy, then you don't care. And if you don't care, then that person is probably out cheating or like,
Tom and Ariana. I think
hello.
Ariana got lazy a little bit. Not that he should have done that to her, but it's like I think it was like roommate friend situation, and he got bored and someone was paying attention to him and he got all excited.
There is, and this is going to sound kind of unhealthy maybe, but there is some healthy jealousy that is
Mhm,
important in relationships, especially in those early years. If you are not feeling a little bit uncomfortable with your other significant other that's not even engaged or married to, that's out and about living it up, and you're not feeling a little bit like, what are they doing? I hope
mhm.
they're thinking about me. Are they going to call me? And you don't give a crap. That's something that's a little strange. I'm sorry. I think that's weird.
Yeah. So that's my number 2. So when we're seeing on Summerhouse, it's like July because they just had
Hmm.
the 4th of July party. Paige is totally have the ick. She's like, ugh, like on this past episode, he's like, "Are you ready to go home and see our daughter, like the cat?" And then it
She
was
wants to
funny when
die.
it like flashed the cat, it said Paige's daughter. Like it didn't say like Paige and Craig's. And you know she bought that cat and she's like, "This is my cat." But and then she's just like not even like hugging him, and he's like, "Oh, I want to get food," and she's like, "No, we're just going home. We're not getting food."
She's
And I'm
like,
like,
I have to do
you
my
hate him so much.
pod.
Yeah, and it's like you hate him so much, which is fine. Sometimes we like just fall out of love with people, and it's fine. But for me, I think it's messed up that she strung him along that much further. So then we get into November. He comes to Thanksgiving, which we know Craig is just a walking Hallmark movie. He loves the holidays with his pillows. And you go to the family's house, you think everything's good. And then 2 weeks later, on the phone, when by the way, Craig was like with Austin, or he was with Austin 2 days later doing work. So that's messed up. Now you got his brain all messed up. And then you break up with him. It took you months, but it seems like you were checking out in July.
Not only that, between July, or maybe this was July or even August, I don't know exactly, because July 4th was their first weekend in the house. So this is probably like 4 weekends already
That is
into the
true.
house. So this is probably July or end of July at this point. In
Yeah.
August, I believe. Actually, I don't know. We can check who cares when the Giggly Squad tour started. But the end of August the end of
Like September, I think.
Summerhouse, and between that and when Giggly Squad tour started, she went to Italy with
Mhm.
him and her family. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she went to Italy and he met her, and they were doing these adorable TikToks the entire summer. I don't know
Mhm.
if you remember that, but we were like so enamored
Yeah.
and adored by their adorable TikToks. I was
Yeah.
following them obsessively. This was like the height of my Paige and Craig obsession last summer.
Yeah.
I thought they were
Same.
so cute. We had no indication that there was any ick.
None. Mhm. I
So
know, it's
she
weird now that you
totally was
bring that
lying to
up.
her audience.
Yeah. Which I don't like.
No. So she strings him along, brings him with the family to Italy. She easily could have said, "Hey, listen, I just want to be alone with my family." She could have let
Which
him
is a
know
red
that she didn't want
flag.
him there.
Yeah.
When did they film that last episode of Southern Charm when he was in the car with her and he was like driving her to the airport and she was like, "Maybe this is the last time you'll ever see me." Like, what month was that?
I
Before
know.
Summerhouse.
So,
That's probably
yeah.
before.
Yeah. Yeah, because
See,
was
they
it
were
like
fake.
springtime? I think Southern Charm filmed before Summerhouse, so it was probably springtime that she was saying that.
Yeah, see, they were fake for the shows. I
Yeah.
believe 100%, and you see it when you see them on the RoboCam, which is like, just the steady cam when no one's in the
Mhm.
room versus when the camera man is in the room.
Yeah.
Because right now, you and I are recording this knowing that we're being recorded.
Mhm.
And so we're talking a certain way, knowing that people and like certain, people will be watching this and listening.
Yeah.
So this is our on-camera conversation. Now you and I are going to be the same because we're not in a relationship and like pulling a fast one on people. But if just say you and I had like a persona, we would be putting it on right now for the camera. And then the second we would stop pressing record, maybe I would like stop talking to you and look at my phone and just like be like, okay, we're done. And a lot of people,
Yeah.
by the way, do this. A lot of podcasters and stuff that I work with, they're like and they're like really funny. And the second that the
Yeah.
recording stops, they're like, okay, cool, bye. So
I could see that.
I
Or these
think,
shows. I think some of them do that at this point
oh
in these shows.
yeah. So I think that like what we're seeing when he's like, hey, let's go home and see your daughter. And she's like, I got to go record my pod. No, I don't want to stop for food. Let's just go. That's the real Paige. What we're
Yeah.
seeing when we see the camera man, when they're in the kitchen and we see all the the backyard stuff,
Mhm.
that's the on-camera Paige.
Yeah.
And I hate to only
I
blame Paige,
also
but this is what I think is what we're seeing. We're seeing an on and off camera Paige. We're seeing two personalities with Paige.
Yeah, and I wanna know, do you think she was pushing him away so he could break up with her because she didn't wanna do it?
Yeah, I think she was setting up a narrative already in the summer, knowing that this is gonna end soon because there's no way she could have handled it. She was pushing him away, saying,
Mhm.
like, how can I set it up so that he becomes like the bad guy in the story? And
Yeah.
Sierra is, I'm just gonna say this, and this is not gonna be popular. Well, maybe it will be. Sierra is a dangerous friend to have.
I know, and
She's
I
a
liked
dangerous,
her. I used to like her, but
yeah.
after this episode, I was like, slow down. Or maybe it was the episode before when she's like, hater. That was a week ago. And she's
So
like,
I used to
Paige,
like
we
Sierra a
talk
lot
about
too.
this.
I think getting burned by two men back to back, Austin,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying she's a bad friend to have like in life. I'm saying when it comes to relationships. So
Yeah.
my mom used to always tell me this. You know how moms sometimes have like that really good life advice. My mom used to
Mhm.
always tell me that when I was single and like looking for a boyfriend, she used to always say, be very careful with who you're getting your guy advice from. Don't ever try to get, relationship advice from girls who are not in happy relationships.
That's
And
good.
I always used to think about that because I remember like really seriously having one friend of mine who had a really hard time finding a happy relationship. She would date a lot, but like she just had really bad luck.
Yeah.
And every guy that I liked, she would poo poo all over him. She would always find issues with him. She would always say how bad he was for me. And it would get in my head. And
Like
so
jealous.
I don't know what. Maybe not. Maybe it was jealous. Maybe she just didn't want me to find a guy so she would be alone. I don't know.
That's
Maybe she didn't
true.
want to lose me as like her single friend
True.
and like her wing woman. You never know
Mhm.
what it is. And so what ended up happening was when I ended up finding my husband, I felt like she didn't like him and I had to choose him or her. And of course, I ended up choosing him. And now I'm no longer friends with her. So I wonder if Sierra is going to be one of those friends that's always going to like push Paige away from the guys that she chooses because she's not happy in a relationship. Because Sierra, if she was really genuinely happy right now with a guy, I don't think she would be like pushing Craig so far away. I think she would be like, come on, I like him. He's a good guy. He loves you, Paige.
Yeah.
Why did Craig become public enemy number one? It was so weird to see that.
Do you think it's because, like, Sierra has a bad taste in her mouth with Craig because of the Austin stuff?
But she was so kind with him, Craig said, like up until, well, I guess that was summer. So that was before. Then she was really fake with him because he said we spent Thanksgiving together and she was great with me.
Maybe it's because, like, if Paige no longer likes Craig, none of them do because Kyle and Amanda unfollowed Craig and they're all, like, poo-pooing on him, and it's like show versus show. I'm like, "Oh my god, it could be
Ugh.
like The Challenge on MTV or whatever." Like, we could get Southern Charm versus Summerhouse and, like, do
But right,
backyard games.
yeah, but right now, I mean, I don't love either that much, but right now I find the Summer House cast to be very unlikable, like as a whole. What about you?
Yeah. I can't with Emerald and his brothel
Ooh, what's
stuff.
happening there?
Like, why did we bring him in just for that? And do you think these girls didn't sign something so they can't be on camera? Because it's like, I mean, we can't watch them have sex, but, like, we don't even see them the next day.
It's
And I'm
really
like, who are these
weird.
people?
It's
It's
really
gross.
weird
Like,
that we don't even see the back of their arms. Like we don't see a leg. We don't
that
see
man needs to
their
be
hair.
tested for an STD. I mean, that's, too much.
He grosses me out. I'm not into it.
That's gross. I mean, I'm not, like, saying they all can't have, like, a hookup, but he does it every weekend with different people. That's gross.
I agree.
What do you think about Jesse getting his toe sucked, though? I mean, he was involved in the threesome. He was in there for 37 minutes.
He didn't get his
That
toe
is so
sucked.
long. He got something else sucked.
His toe is code word for his penis.
Yeah. Ew, and, like, he has gross feet. I feel like men basically have gross feet anyway, but he has, like, nasty feet, and then they were dirty all day, and I'm like, "This is all just wrong. Like, why aren't you showering before you went out? And then
I
why
can't
does
think
someone wanna
about it.
suck on
It
your dirty
honestly
toe?"
grosses me out so much.
How did d This is also what grosses me out. The him and Lexi thing, like, this past week's episode, she is stage 5 clinger, but I do think he led her on a bit, like, he committed to her right away, and now he's having regret.
I honestly feel bad. I truly feel bad for her. I get why she would think that he was in love with her. If
Yeah.
you're on her, she's young, sure, but that's not her
Yeah,
fault. If you're on her
I know.
side, you have a guy here that's like, "I love you," bringing you flowers, saying, "I love you, I wanna be with you." Of course, you're
Yeah.
gonna believe it.
Yeah, and I do feel bad. I think he's taking advantage of her, But I also feel like now he's regretting it and there's signs. So she should be like, oh, you sat in a room for 37 minutes with 2 other girls and did God knows what? Bye.
Yeah, I
Instead,
think
it's making
they're gonna
he's
break up
making
any
her look like a
minute.
fool. For sure. I mean, they definitely aren't together current day, but who knows if
No,
they'll even last the rest of the summer.
for sure.
It's like Bailey disappeared to just come back to be like, "Hey, did you know he got his toe sucked?" Because she
Mhm.
disappeared for a long time and then came back,
Yeah,
just to say that.
crazy.
I just feel like it's weird though that she's like, "Come meet my parents." I don't know. And then
He has
she's
a
like, "I
weird
want you to meet my
codependent.
parents." Yeah, and then he's like, "I really don't wanna meet or I don't want you to meet my parents, but I'll do it." I just saw like a preview, the Bravo by Gaze posted like the next 5 minutes of the next episode. And he's like in the car with West and her, and they're driving up, and West is like, "Oh, I heard you met the parents." And she's like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Yeah, I mean, it's probably too fast. I really didn't want her to meet them." It's like, oh my God,
It's
okay, screw you. Then like, I don't want to have sex with you. Like,
yeah, it's immaturity. It's like such immaturity, back and forth, right?
well, and like my husband's so funny when he watches these things because he's just like, but he's like, that dude's ugly. She's not missing anything if she breaks up with him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
tell it like it is. I agree. I don't think he's attractive.
I thought he was attractive for like 5 minutes the first season, but now
Yeah.
he's just goofy. To be honest,
Mhm.
I mean, West, I think, is like the funnier personality, but he's annoying too. There,
Yeah.
every guy on Summer House is so unattractive to me. Not one of them is cute,
They're like frat bro
but like
vibe kind of, and
dorky
I
and
hate
goofy.
that. I hate that. Like the
Dorky. There's
way
not one
yeah,
hot
dorky and goofy too.
guy.
Yeah, Carl's so goofy with
Carl's
Lil.
so dorky. Like I literally would never sleep with Carl. Carl
No.
is so embarrassingly dorky.
And I think it's like we're really seeing his real personality now that he doesn't drink.
Oh my
So
god.
his real personality is like not one cool bone in his body.
And he's so insecure and awkward and like,
I
oh my
know.
god, and with that girl that he was kind of like talking to, the magician girl. Oh my god,
Lil.
everything about it was so uncomfortable. I was like, get me out of this hell. Like I'm in hell
I
watching
know.
these two.
Did you see? So on this past episode, Lindsay is trying to do like the math, and
Mhm.
she thought that Carl was talking to her in August before he broke up because she's like, I walked in on him. He had a DM with like a phone number, then he swiped away from it. So, I mean, that is like alarming. Like, you would be like, oh, but then Lil came out of the woodwork and was like, posted the message to Carl and it had dated October. And she's like, the last time I checked, October comes after August. And I'm like, Lil.
The amount that I care about Lil
I
is
know.
Lil to none. But I will say that I don't
Lil to
I don't think Lindsay gives a fuck about Lil or
Mm-mm,
Carl, but she's annoyed
mm-mm.
that Carl has been playing up this victim mentality if
That is
he's
true.
in fact been like hooking up with Lil or flirting with Lil. Carl's pretending like, well, maybe Lindsay is still into me during this time. Lindsay
Yeah,
was not even into Carl when she was with Carl.
I know. So true.
No one is into Carl. Carl cannot
No.
get laid for his life. But
Mm-mm.
Carl also just tried on the gay shark costume at Watch What Happens Live. And that concerns
Mm.
me. And I clearly wonder if Carl has a sex drive in him. I think he is truly asexual.
That could be that.
There's like not there's something missing there. Like, can you imagine Carl like getting like romantic with someone, man, woman, shark?
No, nobody. Nobody.
Nobody. Like maybe Emerald. Maybe Emerald's the only one that can get shark can get Carl in bed.
Yeah, he needs to invite Carl to the threesome.
Carl needs his toe sucked bad.
He would scare those girls away. They'd be like, no, he's the dorky one.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Here's my toe. You want
Yeah.
to suck my toe?
I watched it on like Jesse Solomon.
My toe is so clean, it's sparkling. I just got a pedicure.
I watched it at Soft Bar.
I washed it with crowd-funded money at Soft Bar."
Oh my gosh. Yeah, how do you feel about that? I will say I'm in Delaware, so, like, it's a little lame here, so you couldn't launch something like that. It wouldn't fly. New York's, like, progressive or, like, where you are, like, LA, like,
Mhm.
people like to do different things, and there's so many different people there, and a lot of people are choosing a sober lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think it's a good concept, but I don't know how much money he'll make because, I mean, you're just paying for juice kind of at the end of the day. I'm like, maybe people would rent that car that he had, and then people would add alcohol at their event. Like, make me the cute cocktail, and then I'll just stand over here and pour my tequila in it.
The only
But I
reason
don't know how
people
he's
are
gonna
ever
make money.
ordering alcohol-free drinks is if they happen to be at a restaurant and there's like
Mhm,
it's for food and
mhm.
you're at an event and there's something else going on and they don't serve alcohol and then you're drinking it. You are not going out of your way, in my opinion. And I'm
Yeah,
not an alcohol-free lifestyle person, but I have gone significant amounts of times where I'm like, I won't be drinking, like, a dry January type of situation. I will never
yeah,
during those months say, let me go to a bar where
yeah,
I can't drink so I can feel like I'm at a bar where people are drinking that doesn't also serve good food and doesn't have like a vibe, like a fun vibe. So I don't get it. Like
yeah.
I would rather there's so many cool fun sports bars. I would just go to a sports bar and get a Diet Coke.
Yeah, like or I feel like he should put his thing as a pop-up within a bar that has alcohol. Like, "Oh, you're meeting your friends at this big bar, but then look, there's this stand over here," like or even permanent, and it's soft bar, so if you don't drink alcohol, you can go to that little stand and get a special drink. But then it's like the bar would just make it, so it's like, I don't know.
Or just
It's a
do
smart
what
concept, but, like
or just do what Loverboy's doing. Create your own canned mocktail co- uh
yeah.
company. Like, that's what you do so that you can be in every single small store, like
Mhm,
every Whole Foods around the country,
mhm.
and it'll be called Soft Bar, and it'll be
Yeah,
canned cocktails, and you can try to, like, make yourself known amongst the recesses or whatever the other brands are that do that kinda stuff. I don't know
yeah.
what they are, but there's a bunch that make it. It's not looking good. You're crowdfunding online
Mhm.
for $250 investments minimum, and you're at 11%
Yeah,
fulfilled. What?
and Lindsay stayed home to watch paint dry in the nursery instead.
So would I. I almost drew paint in my living room just to watch it dry during that scene.
Yeah. Well,
He's
and
just
then I was
uncomfortable to
like
me. I don't have faith in him.
yeah,
See, Kyle Cook is the
yeah,
size of this can, but and he cheats on his wife allegedly, but and he's a crybaby, and I think he's a douchebag, but I think he has chutzpah and what that means, like in the Jewish Yiddish language, right? It means cojones. It's balls. Like
yeah,
Kyle Cook is a hustler. Kyle
yeah,
Cook knows how to maneuver himself in business. Clearly,
mhm,
I would put my money behind Kyle Cook, even though he's all the bad things that we've seen. He parties too much. He this, but he's like,
yeah.
I want to be a DJ, and look, he's a DJ. Like this
I
guy,
know, and,
at least
that goes hand in hand with Loverboy.
he can make
Like,
shit
he's totally
happen.
advertising his shit. Yeah,
He can make shit happen is what I'm saying. Like there's certain people that can make shit
I
happen.
agree.
Craig can make shit happen. Kyle can make shit
Mhm,
happen. Austin can even make shit happen with Trop Pop. We've seen him do that, and he has this restaurant now. Shep,
mhm.
not so much.
I know.
Carl, definitely not.
Yeah,
I would even say West at Summerhouse, he can make shit happen. West is fucking everywhere. I mean, like he's in magazines and he has a job and he's a marketing guy
yeah,
and he's on Instagram and on these viral reels. Carl is just not that guy. Carl is an employee.
yeah,
He's
that's
not
why
a
he should just stick it
CEO.
out with Loverboy.
Mhm.
And, like, he said he invested $100,000 of his own money in this stuff, and I'm like, "I don't know how that's gonna work out."
Mhm.
Even though he is proving Lindsay wrong a little bit because at least he launched all this, but that doesn't mean it's gonna succeed. I mean, I always pat people on the back for giving it a go.
Mhm.
Like, at least he's not just sitting around doing nothing, kinda like a chef.
Totally.
He's doing something and he's trying, but it's, like, maybe not the right idea. And then my husband noticed because he's he invests in businesses and he's always like looking when they're doing, he's like, it says there's 3 like investors here. He's like, so it's 3 people and like Carl. He's like, no one's going to make money. There's too many people sharing the piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to know if like the Loverboy offer still stands, $25,000 to buy in for Kyle.
Seriously.
I was like, that doesn't sound like that much, but then I'm like, but I wonder how much like you're getting, and then it's like, how are they even doing? And because they don't even sell Loverboy in Delaware.
Oh,
Like when I
really?
go down the shore, it's in Wildwood, but only a couple flavors. So it's like he's not even everywhere. And I'm close to New
You're not
York. I'm
missing
not
out.
that far.
You're not missing out.
I know. So I've tried it before, and it's like weird flavors. The cans are
bitter.
cute. That's all Amanda.
Super
it's just
cute
strange
marketing.
flavors.
Super
Yeah,
cute
the
marketing.
marketing's cute.
I have one right here. I love it. I mean, I love the cans. I actually think they're so cute. Like this is one of their white tea peaches. Like I think they're so cute and they have all the fun
Oh,
branding.
that one sounds better.
It's so
White
gross.
tea.
Like,
That
I'm
sounds
sorry.
better.
I don't know if it's just
Really?
my mouth and my taste buds, but like I can't handle it. Spritz to me is 10 times better, but I also like there's a few flavors of spritz that I'm also like, oh, they're so gross. But it, I don't know. I haven't tried them all, but I'm just not into them.
Yeah. Do you think it's fascinating too, speaking of spritz, that Craig said he's like an alcoholic and had to stop drinking, but he's like the face of an alcohol company?
I don't think it's weird only because he still drinks, which is the weirdest part about this whole thing. Craig
Yeah,
is a
that
drinker.
makes no
Like
sense.
5 seconds after he said he was an
He still has like
alcoholic.
beer and wine. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said right after he said he was an alcoholic, he said, "Austin, maybe tonight I'll have a beer." What? Last night, like on the reunion, he's like, "Maybe tonight I'll
Yeah.
have a beer." What? And he's like,
Yeah.
"I'm an
Well, and
alcoholic,"
on the
holding a whole
Bahamas trip,
bottle
he
of
was drunk.
champagne.
Yeah. He was definitely drunk on the Bahamas trip when he was telling Austin he was an
The whole
alcoholic. That's why he like
time.
cried.
He was
Yeah.
drunk that whole trip.
Maybe he just doesn't drink liquor. So he needs to clarify it because I don't think he drinks hard liquor anymore, which
Okay,
I
but
could see he had a problem with that.
okay,
But
but that's not but like
yeah.
he's not dumb. He should understand alcohol is in beer, alcohol is in
Yeah.
champagne.
No, I
Because he's
agree with
already
you.
very much said, I only drink wine and beer. So then
Mhm.
why is that any different than I only drink wine and beer now? Then don't say I'm an alcoholic and hold a bottle of champagne. It's very confusing.
Yeah. Yeah, he should have just been like, I have a problem when I drink liquor, so I'm gonna eliminate that and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, don't say you're an alcoholic and then have beer. That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense to all of us.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Watching this now and like seeing, I don't know how Garcelle would have stayed anyway. Like she hates all these women.
Mm,
Do you think Sutton will stay? Like Garcelle's out. That's her
mm.
only friend. Sutton has to leave. I mean,
No, I think Sutton will stay.
she doesn't enjoy them though. Like on the last episode, she's like, I hate all these people and they're so mean to me. It's like, then leave. You
No,
don't
I
need the
think she'll
money.
stay. I don't think
Don't
Sutton's
you think
going
that's
anywhere.
weird?
Yeah, but I don't think she's going anywhere. I think Sutton truly is a big drama queen. I think she loves it. I think that
I think
especially if
she's her
Jennifer Tilly
friends.
stays, I think
That's
she's
true.
craving Kyle's friendship so badly. And I think if Jennifer Tilly stays, she's not going anywhere. I don't think she has any
Yeah.
friendship whatsoever with
Yeah. So these are like her friends.
yeah. I don't think she has any friendship whatsoever with Garcelle at all anymore, though.
Really?
I think
So
that
you think
friendship
they were
was
like
just for the
show
show.
friends?
Well, I don't think that Garcelle
Interesting.
thought that.
Interesting. That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if Garcelle really left because of her side projects, because she's not lying. She does have side projects. And I could tell if you're on these shows, they don't care if you're doing other shit. They're like, no, be here at this time, be available for us. And it's like, if you're in the middle of filming a movie, like, I don't know how Kyle did Halloween and did the show.
Well, I don't think it conflicted. I think it was like off on different times. I actually think that you can absolutely have other jobs. These shows do not take precedence over other jobs. They work it out in your schedule. Or you don't take the
So
other
she's
jobs
lying.
during those months that you're shooting the show. Or like we've seen it before where Garcelle will be on set and will bring, it'll be part of the show where she'll bring cameras to set,
Oh,
you know? Um, no, she
so
left
she used
this
it as an
show.
excuse.
She left this show for another reason. I don't think she left the show because she was too busy.
Because that's kind of like what she made it seem like.
No, she left the show for other reasons.
Yeah.
I think you can say I've decided to put my kids first, and that's possible, but this paycheck is so big compared to any acting job she has.
Hmm.
Um, the attention, the money. She has 2 kids going off to college. She clearly just bought a house and built this house. Like she needs the money, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's something else bigger that is eating at her. I really think that what we started to see in the reunion this week, which was
Yeah.
Erica kind of coming at her, Dorit picking out. I mean, I don't want to say picking on her because I'm of the mindset that Garcelle is not innocent either.
Yeah.
Garcelle clearly was giving her a hard time. And um, look, Garcelle is a little bit of a disher and not being able to take it. Like,
I was just going to say that.
yeah, I mean, I don't love that about Garcelle or Sutton.
Hmm.
I think
Sutton's
Sutton's
like that
big on that
too.
too.
Hmm.
Don't feel like you can attack people left and right for all the things that they're doing wrong and then, freak out if you're in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Like Garcelle could not handle being in the hot seat, but like you're digging into 2 people's very, very, very sensitive personal situations over and
Yeah.
over and over
Yeah.
and
It's not
over.
like stupid shit. It's like their kids, uh, their marriage. If Garcelle talks about that freaking robbery one more time, like at this point, you know what? If that's what you think, that's what you think. But stop saying it because stop thinking it's not rude to say that aloud. So it's okay for you to say that, but it's not okay for Erica to be like, well, you're boring. Like, I thought she was going to cry when she said that, but you don't want Dory to be upset that we're saying, oh, I think you staged the robbery. And then
Yeah.
she's like, well, I'm not saying you and PK staged it. Who else would stage it? Because if they stage it, it would be to collect insurance money. Who stages a robbery that it's not their house?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, what would they get out of it?
No, it makes no sense whatsoever. It's kind of silly. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's possible it was staged. Listen, I don't know. I don't know the way these things
Hmm.
work. I think PK is out of his mind. Honestly, I think he is kind of cuckoo. And
Hmm.
I don't think he's good with his money. I think he's a mess. I mean, I think their money situation
Yeah.
is a nightmare, obviously, but
Hmm.
it's wild that Garcelle thinks you can just keep going at that over and over and over, and then be shocked that Dorit's like, F you. And I get it.
Yeah.
Garcelle's really pissed off at the way that Dorit has come after her and her kids in the past or whatever. But like Dorit can never, ever get into Garcelle's good eyes after that. Like no matter how many times she said,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no matter how many times they've had the lunches, no matter how many times Garcelle will always hate Dorit. It's annoying. Like this season was annoying.
Yeah.
Episode 1, Garcelle was like, I don't like Dorit. I'm like, again?
Yeah, it's like, we know you don't, so leave. Like, at this point, if you don't like anybody, leave.
She seemed
Like,
the entire season from episode 1, Garcelle came in with like I'm not into any of these people attitude. And it bothered, I think everyone felt it the entire season. Bose, on the other hand, to me, came in with a very open, fresh mind in the sense of I'm going to come in and I'm going to meet everyone. I don't think she
mhm,
was cold or offbeat, off put by anyone right off the bat. She was open to everyone, but Dorit and her had a natural instant connection. And I thought
mhm,
seeing the fact that Bose said, I saw the show, I knew exactly what I was walking into, and I connected with Dorit, which to me was very telling because Dorit, if you're trying to be like on the popular side with the
mhm.
audience, Dorit's not your girl.
Right.
If you're trying to be on the popular side, you're going straight to Sutton and Garcelle.
Mhm.
Or maybe Kyle, even, you're
Yeah.
definitely, or Erica or something. I don't know. You're not going to Dorit. Dorit is not the popular one with the
Yeah.
audience. So the fact that she connected so strongly with Dorit shows me that that's a genuine friendship. Bose is not trying
For
to do
sure.
that to like win the fans. And
Mhm.
what everyone is trying to do now, which is so wild, Garcelle decides to leave the show. And all of a sudden, the fans have revisionist history. They decide that Garcelle was the best thing Housewives ever had in the entire world.
I know.
And
like,
Garcelle
no.
leaving is like, I'm never watching Beverly Hills again, they decide. And the show is racist because Garcelle is leaving, even though Bose is there.
I was just
And
gonna say,
we're
yeah. Like,
racist.
yeah.
And Bose was horrible because if Bose watched the show before, the fact that she is friends with Dorit means that she obviously hated Garcelle. I mean, it's so wild.
I know.
I
I
don't get it.
truthfully like am happy to have Bose. Like I like diversity. Like if Crystal was cooler, I would love an Asian person on the
I'm
show.
with you.
I never liked Garcelle. It's not because she's black, because I love Bose and she's black. So it's like
Exactly.
I just didn't like her.
I loved Garcelle's her first season or her first couple seasons. I thought she and Sutton were adorable together, actually. It was only this last season that I really, really felt the switch up. This last season,
Yeah.
Sutton like had super dark energy and Garcelle standing
Yeah.
up with her. It was the last 2 seasons for Garcelle for me, but this last season with Sutton, I
Yeah.
was like, whoa. Just seeing Reba and seeing where she came from, and then the fact that you see who her mom is, and then you see
Yeah.
who she is turning into, and like, whoa, your mom is that way, and then you come home and say your wallet comment. I was like, there's no hope for you. Like, you're turning into your mom.
Yeah, like you're Reba. Yeah.
I didn't
She
like it.
definitely is. I know. And I'm wondering if Reba was like confused that Sutton and Garcelle are close. Like she was giving me like a little bit of like old lady,
Racism.
like racist vibes in the
She's like,
South. Like
whoa.
she's like, I don't want your scarf. And then Kyle didn't bring her any gift and she liked her better. I'm like,
Of course.
bringing a gift is like, we're Italian. So it's like, you don't come empty handed anywhere. You bring a gift or you bring food or you bring wine or you bring something.
Yeah.
Kyle came empty handed and she liked her. And she's like, oh, it's the scarf.
I know. I felt that too. I was
That
like,
was
it's
weird.
so obvious.
Yeah.
And Sutton seems like such a nightmare person in real life. Let's be real.
Like literally wouldn't want to be her friend. And I wonder how much she pays Avi because you couldn't pay me enough to
Do you want
be
to hear the craziest
her
thing?
assistant.
Do you think Avi is? Do you know? I'll just say this. Do you know that Avi is married to a woman with kids and has kids?
Fascinating that he's
I
married to a
was
woman.
shocked.
That's
I was
what I'm more
shocked.
fascinated about.
I was
right?
like,
Yeah.
he's not her gay bestie.
Yeah, or like have no life. I feel like those people that are assistants to people like that are like the Kardashians. Like, how do you have a life? Their
I don't
life
think
is
he
your
sees
life.
his wife.
So
I mean,
maybe
I'm
he is
sure
secretly
his
gay,
wife comes second to Sutton, 100%. You know how Paige
which
is
is
like, my
wild.
husband's going to come third? I guarantee you
Yeah.
his wife comes third to Sutton.
That is crazy. Why did Sutton bring him like on the trip? Like you stayed in a villa where there was probably like a concierge service and like servants, if we want to say it like that, there. So I'm like, why would you bring him?
She can't
Like
go
you're
anywhere without
paying
him.
for
She's
him.
codependent.
It's because she doesn't have a boyfriend because she's weird. My husband's always like, she has so much money and she still can't even like buy a boyfriend because she's so weird.
So weird.
And he hates her
Super
legs.
weird.
He's like, she does not have nice legs.
Chicken legs.
I'm like, she doesn't. Yes, that's what we call them. I'm like, there's
I'm
Sutton
with
chicken
you.
legs, your girlfriend.
I'm with you.
I also hated how much that Garcelle and Sutton, or even Kyle, thought Bose and Dorit's friendship was weird. And I'm like, Garcelle and Sutton's friendship and sticking blind loyalty is annoying. And if
Mhm.
we all remember, I hate to speak ill of Teddy Mellencamp because now she's just not doing well these days. But Teddy and Kyle's friendship was literally so annoying because she was like a lost puppy following Kyle around. So why is it weird that Dorit has like a loyal friend?
Well, people just don't like Dorit.
I mean, that's true.
People, it's so unfortunate, and I hate it more than anything. I can't stand how people just don't like Dorit. So anything Dorit touches is immediately a no. And that's the problem. The fandom in Bravo is so obnoxious and hypocritical. I can't handle it.
Mm-hmm. But I think like Kyle and Sutton and Garcelle are being hypocritical. It's like, you have close friends and that's okay.
Well, they just didn't like that she wasn't their friend.
But it's like Kyle didn't want to be her friend because she's secretly walking around with her girlfriend. Because how about how Garcelle's like, you talk to us off camera about Morgan, but you can't talk on camera. And I'm like, I saw the April Fool's meme that someone did. I think it was blocked by Jax. She got me with the TMZ posting. I went, oh my God. And then I was like, oh, wait, it's April Fool's.
You believed it.
Like for like a second. And then I saw one and it was like Teresa and Louie are getting divorced because of all their shit that's going on. I'm like, and then I'm like, wait, it's still April Fool's.
You are falling for all of them.
I know. They were good ones. I should have remembered it was April Fool's because all day my daughter's like, let's do an April Fool's joke. And then she told my husband that it was April Fool's. And I was like, well, you told daddy. So it's like, it's ruined now. He'll know anything you try to do. But
That's so
before
funny.
we end, let's wrap up with the Teresa and Louie stuff a little bit.
Okay.
So can we all freaking believe this woman? She was burned by Joe Giudice. You're not gonna do the prenup for your daughters because, like, trust him, do whatever you want, but you do have kids. This is a later in life marriage. And I'm just gonna say right now, if Joe Giudice, who their families knew each other like their whole lives almost, and then she knew Joe her whole life, and then you have 4 kids together, if he can screw you like that, anybody would. I
It's
mean,
so wild.
after that, I wouldn't trust anyone. It's fine that you wanted to get married again. That's fine. But just keep everything separate since you have kids. Because now that it's not separate, she had like over $300,000 of tax liens, which I always thought she still had taxes to, like, I didn't think she was caught up. But he has $2.7 million worth of tax liens. And now, since you're married and you don't have a prenup, that turns into your problem.
Oh my God.
And the house, I think they're gonna sell the house. See, sometimes I'm, like, reading stuff and I'm like, "Is this true or is this fake?" Even when it's not April Fool's. I'm like, "Is this, like, a reliable source, what I'm reading?" So I wanna dig into that, but I'm sure they're gonna sell that house because just the upkeep on that house, they can't afford it.
Well, they're saying it's not true. It's not true. But I'm like, well, are people faking these documents? They feel pretty freaking true.
Yeah, I found a tax lien from the state of New Jersey. I don't think the state of New Jersey is gonna, like, fake type that up.
Dude, he's so shady.
He's so shady, and everyone said that, so the whole time my husband's like, "I know he's shady, I don't know why, but he is." And it's like, whatever, you don't like Joe and Melissa, but, like, at the end of the day, he's your brother, and he had a lot of stories. Like, he said Dina Manzo's husband, like, current husband, like, fell out of business with Louie, and I think that's why her and Dina are not friends anymore. Because don't tell me Dina didn't wanna come to your wedding because they were filming.
Mm.
Because you could not sign the form. There was, like, 400 people there. They all weren't filmed, and I'm sure some of those people didn't wanna be. So you just don't sign the form, and people are like, "Oh, she wasn't there because Dolores was there," and I'm like, "No." Like, if that's really your best friend, you would be there. It's because of Louie.
Yeah.
Little Frankie lost his job because he shows up to work one day and the doors are, like, locked and the company has, like, moved and it's gone, and Dolores is like, "Don't talk about that," and Frank wanted to spill the beans at the reunion, so it's like, there's just too many stories about Louie, and then the John Fuda stuff about the baby mama contacting her in prison, and then them calling Margaret's son. There's just so much bad about him that it's like, Teresa, just give it up. Like, it's
Yeah.
fine if you like him, but, like, don't lie. And then I really wanna know what the daughters really think, because there's no way in hell they actually like him.
Look, I have no idea what's really going on there, but I think that there's some sort of like blood, like one of those blood promises between Teresa and the daughters where she was like, "Listen, my
Yeah.
daughters, whatever you do, you cannot go against me or Louis publicly. Like, I got your back. You know, I've never let you down in the past. Dad, screwed us before. I didn't. I will not let you down, but you cannot talk badly about me. Like, you got to have my back." And that's why Gia is
Which
going
is true.
publicly and talking about her. And like, look, I really hate if Teresa is screwing over her daughters, because the one thing she has done really well is raise good kids. And I do think, like, yeah, I mean, Gia's a little bit like feisty or whatever. I don't follow her that well, but like I've seen her on the show be a little feisty. And I know she's got like this weird Bethany back and forth right now. But her kids are good kids.
Yeah, for all they've been through.
Oh my God. They're like charitable. They're like philanthropic. They're
Yeah,
smart
they're in
kids. They go to
school.
colleges. Like they're
Yeah.
good kids. And so for them,
Yeah.
I really, really hope that they end up being okay. Louie is just energy wise, like bad vibes. Dirty John, like bad vibes.
He's going to be on a Netflix special, or someone wrote in the comments I saw, they were like, he's going to be on American Greed. And I'm like, true. I like that.
There's something that's going to come out big time about him. Like he'll end up in prison or she'll end up in prison again or something. Like it's bad.
Could you imagine if she
She's
goes
like,
back
not
to prison?
again.
I know. And then there's like, what's Juicy Joe thinking from the Bahamas?
He's like, oh, glad I got out of this one.
He's like, what are you going to do about a tree? That's always just like what he says. He's like,
you learned.
what are you going to do?
You learned.
Yeah. Melania's got to tell you what to do over there, huh? I did
Louie,
read
why?
something that she
Why
said.
are you doing this to my
Yeah.
girl?
Yeah. Why are you doing it to the daughters? She blamed like Melissa and Margaret for it because all the shit they were talking about Louie then ruined all his business stuff. So therefore he had like no businesses. And I'm like,
I'm so
this
over.
woman would stub her toe and say it's Melissa's fault.
I can't do it. I can't. This is why I can't handle these girls anymore. Like, please don't bring them all back to Jersey. Like, I can't watch it. It's so nauseating. It feels, I'm so over. Like we're squeezing the juice out of a juiceless lemon with these fights.
Because back in the day, there was like reconciliation, you know what I mean? But now they're like firm of like no reconciliation. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
like,
well,
why
we
are
want to
we
keep,
doing this
we want to
again?
stop it. Yeah.
It's like, it's pointless. It's pointless. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just, again, it's like my kids when they continue to try to fight for ice cream when I said no. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. It's
trying
like, please stop.
to get your ice cream. You're already in bed. You've brushed your teeth. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know
what I thought before all this tax lien stuff is that Teresa was going to get a spinoff and they were going to keep Melissa and Dolores and maybe bring new people. Cause it said like Rachel and Margaret and it was just the three of them got like guaranteed something with Bravo. That's what it said. So no
I'll
official
tell you,
contracts.
I have some insight. I think Teresa will get a spinoff still. I think Dolores will still end up on Bravo, but on a different show. And I don't think, and Melissa also will somehow end up, but I don't think we'll ever see like Danielle or Rachel or,
Definitely
the other,
not Jennifer Aiden.
No, that I was going to say the sandwich one. She's gone.
Oh, sandwich one.
Remember, she got in a fight at the airport over the sandwich.
Oh yeah, Jennifer Aiden. Yeah. No, she dug her own grave. I'm like, girl, because she could have been on like Teresa's spinoff because they're friends.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you won't be on anything.
Yeah.
I don't know why she did that because no one's going to like side with you and be like, oh, that's so cool. You were like berating a old woman that's like working at the airport on New Year's Day, by the way, probably the most obnoxious day to wait on anybody.
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
I know. It said that like her and Bill loaned Teresa and Louie money and she's like demanding it back. Again, like this thing that keeps popping up on my phone, I'm like, is this real? I don't think these are facts. Like,
no,
I think it's fake news.
Yeah, no.
But I'm like, how is this website writing all this extreme fake news? And I do like to read it for a minute, but then I'm like, no, this isn't real.
You can't.
It's like
but
a permanent April Fool's website.
Yeah, you're clearly vulnerable. You're not you're naive. You're not the right person to be reading these things. You believe everything.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun to read, but I don't think this is real.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was so fun catching up and talking about all these crazy people.
Well, thank you for having me, Erica. I appreciate you.
Thanks for coming back. Tell everybody where they can find you.
I am on Dailey Dose of Dana 5 days a week. I have a podcast and a YouTube show every single day, Monday through Friday on YouTube. And then, of course, on Apple and Spotify. And then Instagram and TikTok at This Is Donna Bowling.
I love listening to all your Blake Lively stuff. That's like a freaking wild
That's a
train.
whole other
I don't
hour.
even touch that. I
Yeah.
know. I don't even touch that on mine because I'm like, I don't have enough time to keep up with everything.
That's a whole other beast.
Yeah, if everyone wants all the Blake Lively tea, tune in to Dailey Dose of Dana.
Aw, thanks, honey.
Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
As always, this was so fun, and you could find me on Instagram at Bravo T with the Stay at Home Mom, Spotify and Apple. Till next time, see ya.